Battlecast Primetime, more Kane! Millions of CNC fans get their prayers answered as the Dark Messiah returns for another installment, complete with new missions, multiplayer maps, units, powers, and an all-new gameplay mode. Plus, access to the Red Alert 3 beta. We'll bring you all that info from the front. We've got actor Joe Coogan in studio to kick it all off. What has the Tiberium Prophet been up to since his last quest to take over the world? Plus, we've got 5 great matches in the Battlecast 5. Battlecast Primetime starts now. You're logged in to Battlecast Primetime. Sitting next to this guy, I'm David Silverman. I'm sorry, Raj, I can't give you a formal introduction because Kane's coming today. And well, we all know you're a Scrin supporter. I gotta bring my A game now. Kane's always on the lookout for a worthy right-hand man. Trisha Helfer, Natasha Henstridge. If I impress him, I could be next.
Whatever. If you're still trying to parlay your way into the Kane's Wrath FMVs, I got some bad news for you, buddy. The game's already out. That's right. I've played it, and let's just say a Visceroid has more in common with these two fine young ladies than you do.
Ouch. Even the Black Hand could learn a thing or two from a burn like that. I'll just have to hold out for my spot in the Red Alert 3 cinematics. Fire Shakirovs! Yeah?
No. Kane's Wrath is on store shelves. Pick up your copy now for 13 new single-player missions, including over a half hour of HD cinematics. 6 new sub-factions, dozens of new powers, upgrades, and multiplayer maps, a new global conquest mode, and of course, game-changing epic units. But you should know all of this by now. Don't miss a second of practice. You've got a ton of new strategies to break in before you can claw your way to the top of our ladders.
And besides, it's time now to bring you the latest CNC news from the front. Kane's Wrath is bringing you a new way to play Command & Conquer. Global Conquest Mode. It's like Risk on steroids. Build bases in an open world map and recruit strike forces to take on your enemies, and use the new Global Conquest support powers. You'll control a core faction and its 2 sub-factions as you work towards your unique objective. To build towers as a Scrin, control the world as GDI, or create civil unrest as the Brotherhood. Move your strike forces and upgrade your base on the world stage. Then dive into the tactical RTS you know and love to resolve your battles with the strike forces that you bring into battle. Be sure to check out the Global Conquest tutorial video on our website at www.commandandconquer.com for tips on how to get the most out of this new bonus mode exclusively for Kane's Wrath on the PC.
The World Cyber Games have officially confirmed that Kane's Wrath will be the CNC game of choice in this year's competition. With 9 factions and sub-factions to choose from, there are 45 possible matchups in a Kane's Wrath 1v1. Which sub-factions have what it takes to go all the way? What players will be commanding them? With all those new units, upgrades, and powers, it's impossible to tell. If you think you can make it to the grand finals, pick up your copy of Kane's Wrath and start strategizing. You've got a lot to learn. Check out our official site in the months to come for info on the World Cyber Games qualifiers.
Included in every purchase of Kane's Wrath is a beta key for Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. If you want to be one of the first to experience true co-op RTS, in-depth naval gameplay, and the Empire of the Rising Sun faction, register your beta key today. Access to the beta is first come, first serve within your territory, and the only way to get into the beta is to purchase Kane's Wrath or the Command & Conquer Limited Collection. Do so before September 15th and you'll be guaranteed a spot in the beta before the game ships.
Kane's Wrath will ship on the Xbox 360 this summer, and Kane's Challenge is making the jump from prime time to real time. For all of you achievement junkies out there, this exclusive new feature will let you climb through the ranks of the Brotherhood, unlocking achievements and new FMVs along the way. Choose a side and square off against all 9 factions and sub-factions one by one as you make your way to the top. But making it into Kane's inner circle is no easy task. It could be months until we see someone emerge victorious from this elite gameplay mode. Do you have what it takes to survive Kane's challenge? To find out, David's with a special guest.
Fresh off the Xbox 360 set of Kane's Challenge, we're joined once again by actor Joe Coogan.
Howdy. Hey
Joe.
guys, how's it going, kids?
Welcome back to Battlecast Primetime.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Things have changed since you were last here, huh?
Yeah, the last time you guys had it was all done in wicker, and you had the oak paneling and stuff, and yeah, it's a little more high tech now. I like it, looking good.
Raising the notch a little bit.
Took out the throw pillows though, which I kind of liked, between takes, so I could take a nap back there. But this is nice too.
So you'll be happy to know a recent website, doubleviking.com, actually posted a report of the 15 most badass bald guys of all time. You should be thrilled to know that Kane actually came up as number 3, beating the likes of Lex Luthor, John McClane, Riddick, and Vic Mackey.
Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor came in as number 6.
Now look, okay, that's very flattering. Thank you, doubleviking.com thing. But Lex Luthor, seriously, Lex Luthor is the biggest badass bald guy of all time.
Well, you did lose to Yul Brynner.
And I can understand. Who's number 1?
He was the guy from Hitman.
Oh, the guy from Hit. I don't know who that is, but Yul Brynner. Okay, that one I get. But seriously, Lex Luthor. Okay, that's really that's really flattering. I'm pretty happy about that. But seriously, Lex Luthor. I don't know, Lex Luthor. That's a tough beat.
Joe, you're huge with the fans.
Yeah, I'm huge in Germany.
Huge in Germany. And speaking of which, you actually went to Germany for the first time, or the games convention rather, in Germany for the first time this last summer.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I went to Leipzig for the games convention, like you said, and I thought when it was pitched to me, we're going to go to the games convention in Leipzig, and I really was under the impression that it was going to be very small, kind of. I'd go in, 10,000 people, and I'd say hello and wave, and I walk into this building in Leipzig, and there are 60, 70, 80,000. How many people showed up?
200,000 people.
200,000 people, and it was remarkable. It was a great experience. I had a great time.
Now, you were here today to film a couple different things. You did the Xbox 360 Kane's Challenge cinematics. You actually did the Battlecast Primetime Kane's Challenge. You want to give anyone a little insight in terms of, what kind of things went on today?
Well, yeah, I've told you this off camera before, and I'll make it public now and tell everybody. I really enjoy the whole Battlecast, the whole concept of Battlecast. I just think it's great. I love this. I think it's a great idea. I've watched every single one. I've seen them all. I love the idea of, pitting two of the community guys against each other, having them fight their way up through the ladders to get to the point where their games are being analyzed by designers and being commentated upon. I just think it's fantastic. I love it. So today we did some of the. There's been a long climb. Dackle has been just crushing the competition and rising so quickly up the ladder. So we did some shout outs there and a setup for the next couple of battles. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. Joe Coogan, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Dave. I always have a good time. Anytime. I sure appreciate it. It's good fun.
Anything you want to say to the fans real quick?
I do. I want a quick hail out to Jeffrey, who handles a fan page on MySpace. He's doing a great job, Jeffrey, and I really appreciate it. If you guys haven't seen his fan site on MySpace, check it out. And that reminds me, Aaron Kaufman has a fan page on MySpace, doesn't he, Dave?
He does.
Yeah.
Aaron?
Do you have a fan page on MySpace, Dave?
I don't have a fan page on MySpace.
Huh, but Aaron Kaufman has a fan page on MySpace.
He does.
Huh, you don't though?
No?
Huh, that's weird, because Aaron does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, APOC, they call him.
APOC, yeah. But you know what, Joe? If you're ever on the lookout, if Kane, things don't work out with, Natasha or whatever, and you're on the lookout for a new right-hand man, maybe, I could be that person. Because, I'm pretty accustomed to ordering around the lesser guys. And I even brought a copy of my resume. Look, it says here, right here, I read the show open to Battlecast Primetime.
Do you? Yeah, but you don't have a fan page on MySpace.
Yeah, that's technicality.
Aaron Kaufman has a fan page on MySpace. Lesser guys, I don't know. Raj, you've been, pretty good to me. Now that I think about it, Raj, I think, you and I, over the last couple of years, I think we might have just gotten off on the wrong foot. I mean, you got that tattoo of me on the back of your neck, but I'm still very flattered. Maybe you might want to think about joining the Brotherhood.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I mean, this is a huge commitment. You're asking me to trade in my foundries.
You know what? Actually, you guys, if you would just fight to the death for my amusement, I think that'd be enough. That'd make me happy.
Oh, it's on.
Hell yes!
Well, he's got weight on you, Raj, but I think you got reach and meanness on him. Trick with David, go to the body.
Joe Coogan, always a pleasure.
This was fun, Dave.
Thanks for coming on the show. And hey, congratulations on CNC being in the Guinness Book of World Records and you being featured as the longest running actor.
That was cool, guys. Pick up the Gamers edition of the Guinness Book of World Records, just out in print, brand new, first time. CNC is prominently featured. It was very cool. It was an honor.
Yeah, thanks again, Joe. And I will destroy you, Raj. But first, we got more important things to do. It's time for the last Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars edition of the Battlecast 5. Hataki Nod versus Latex Sprint on Pipeline Problem. Latex kicks it off with a standard Crane Refinery creep to the blue field, while Hataki calls in shadow teams via the support power and sells off his shrine. Latex sees them coming a mile away and sells off his crane just in the nick of time. The Shadows, not wanting to be left empty-handed, manage to take out a few simple buildings just for good measure. Predators and Scorpions face off, but Hataki's avatar flank breaks through to trigger in an all-out offensive. Latex, seeing an undefended base, takes the gloves off and charges in full speed ahead! Who will raise the enemy's base first? We will never know. Both players sneak out their MTVs and swap sides. It's topsy-turvy day. With little to no Tiberium left, it comes down to micromanagement. Latex sends in his Predators and pulls off a squeaky clean win.
4. A GDI mirror between Instinct and Gabon on Tournament Tower. And when I say mirror, I mean mirror. Both players sell a power plant to get a quick infantry squad and race to the tower. But Instinct gets there a second early. Ha ha! Always go with your instinct, I guess. They both grab a tip spike, load some engineers into APCs, and both target refineries, which are sold off just in time, killing the engineers. Continuing to mirror each other, they both build up Predators. Gabon manages to reclaim the tower and takes over an expansion field. Instinct pushes on, but foxholes and missile troops send him packing. Gabon counters with an APC engineer rush, forcing Instinct to sell off both the tech center and command post. The siege continues, and both players are down to just a few structures, but Instinct regroups at the southern tip spike, rebuilding his command post and an airfield. An Orca strike wipes out Gabon's original base, but Gabon has a single barrack still standing all the way across the map. Instinct's out of time. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest of them all? Well, it appears to be Gabon. 3.
Hitachi Skrin and Face Me GDI versus Euro Ace GDI and Hi-Bye Skrin on Backwater Brawl. All 4 players go for a fast War Factory build order, immediately fighting over the garrisons, foxholes, tip spikes, and turrets. It's push and pull, while Hitachi techs up to a nerve center. Hitachi creeps into enemy territory by building fast and cheap gravity stabilizers and a lightning spike before he deploys the mothership. He fires on his own buildings, using the creep to chain the catalyst into Euro Ace's base. Gasavin, take note of that for next month. I call it the suicide splash. Euro has an ace up his sleeve though, and he drops a barracks in his ally's base before kissing his Kanyard. Goodbye! Euro surrenders, but not without giving Hi-Bye access to missile squads. Despite having a base half the size of his 2 opponents and against devastating odds, Hi-Bye readies himself to go all 15 rounds. He charges in with his newly acquired missile troops for the win. Hello and goodbye. Looks like Eurostar surrendering actually won his team the game.
2. An 8-player free-for-all between, well, a bunch of people on the Roctagon. Alright, I'll give you all your shout-outs. It's Donkey versus Nine Inch Nails versus Liang Hu versus Mikey Parkster versus Wimble Grimp versus Gustav versus Maestro versus Merlia. And all players are playing random. Oh, the madness! Nine Inch Nails quickly expands to the center but is forced out of there later when Merilia's and Gusta's armies collide. Nails then builds a massive fleet of Firehawks back at his base. Mikey Parkster Nod in the west is slowed down greatly in the beginning of the match, resulting in him losing his original base and being left in the center like a naughty schoolboy, surrounded by enemies that soon start massive attacks. Liang plays in the east as GDI, immediately expanding to the center of the map and pushing Maestro out. Out of my house, boy! He even spreads all the way to Donkey. Donkey starts south as a second Skrin competitor. He builds up a presence in the center but is pressured by a total of 3 players simultaneously and from all sides. This does not look good. Maestro takes the southeastern part of the map and plays his Nod. His first and second attempt to expand to the center fail, and he decides to turtle with the Temple of Nod while harassing everyone in sight with the stealth tanks. Let's see if that pays off. Gusta attacks quickly while turtling in his base, keeping himself alive and sending a deadly mothership to the battlefield. Finally, Wimblegrimp in the west ignores what's going on at the center, silently teching in his own base and then going for the starting areas of his opponents. Gusta's mothership fires, wiping out almost all of the center field structures. The remnant of anyone who abandoned their main base are quickly mopped up. Wimblegrimp is spread thin between the western fields, and Gusta's on the defensive due to 9 Inch Nails' Firehawks. Maestral knows a bully when he sees one, so he nukes 9 Inch Nails and knocks him out. Maestral's base is too strong. He turtles up for 7 more minutes, harassing with stealth tanks before nuking Wimblegrimp out of the match too. Gusta's gone MIA. Hey buddy, you can't just fly that drone ship off the map and run away. Avatars, stealth tanks, and laser venom spell victory for Maestral. 1.
A spectacular screen mirror between Alternative and Diablo on Barstow Badlands. Alternative goes for a fast warp sphere build order. Diablo starts a little bit more aggressively, and he builds a foundry. Yes, Raj, a foundry. It allows him to move his drone platform to the center of the map, cutting Alternative off at the Tiberium Spike while building up a base at the northern part of the valley. 2 birds, 1 stone. Diablo keeps his opponent from expanding to the center effectively, but Alternative still has a trick up his sleeve, and he manages to free himself from this sticky situation with one of the coolest strategies I've ever seen. Seriously, Greg, take note. Alternative launches a mothership and fires on a squad of his own disintegrators in the comfort of his own base. Then, before the catalyst detonates on his base, Alternative teleports the disintegrators into his enemy's base via a mastermind, thus sending the catalyst into Diablo's base. With only scraps left, Alternative's lone heroic tripod is there to take out the trash. Victory, Alternative! This strategy was so brilliant, let's take another look and break it down in a mini special edition of Command School Honors. First, Alternative teched up to a nerve center and deployed a mothership. He had a few squads of his own disintegrators waiting in an empty corner of his base. He then flew the mothership over and snuck in his mastermind into his opponent's base undetected. Here's the tough part. He fires the mothership on his own disintegrators, then uses the mastermind's teleport ability to send those disintegrators over to his enemy's base. Now remember, this has to happen in the 2-second window between the mothership firing and the units detonating. If performed successfully, the units will detonate in the enemy's base, allowing the catalyst to spread and wipe out everything. I call this tactic Alternative's Teleporting Time Bomb. For more killer strategies like this, be sure to check out the real Command School on the 2nd Friday of every month. And Alternative, if you have more killer strategies like this, be sure to send them to commandschool@ea.com.
0.
And you thought we weren't going to show you Akane's Ratbag. It's Ima Zocom versus Rally Champ Steel Talons on Tournament Tower. Rally gets to the tower and they both grab spikes. Both players get a War Factory fast, and Rally takes out a Harvester with his Titans. Ima goes defensive, teching the Hammerheads and Zone Raiders. He loads them up and cuts the power on Rally, and takes out the old tech center for good measure. But Rally's already built his Reclamator hub, and yes, that's right, he gets the Marv out first. Rally puts 4 rocket troopers in his Marv and takes out the passing Harvesters and Hammerheads. Before it reaches Ima's base, the Zocom Marv emerges. Ima's going with Zone Raiders and Engineers, letting the Marv heal up slowly on the go. Ima's got home field advantage, dropping Sonic Emitters and staying near his Reclamator hub to keep his Marv healed up. Rally's Marv goes down, but he's got plenty of cash, so he unveils Marv numero dos. This time he's escorting it with Railgun Mammoths and Titans, and if that's not enough, he's even used the Railgun Accelerator ability to boost their damage. Ima's not sweating it though. He's researched EMP grenades, and a single grenade squad powers down the Marv and the Mammoths time after time after time. He even throws in an Orca Strike, but the Marv escapes and heals up. The Marv Zocom takes out the few lingering Mammoths and Harvesters to become heroic. That's right, kids. The Marv has killed 15,000 credits worth of units. Oh, the humanity! Check out that attack rate, that movement speed, and how fast it heals itself at heroic veterancy. Getting a heroic Marv is no easy task, but Ima's done it. Seeing that beast roll into his base, Rally knows he's beat and concedes the match. Good game. And there's your 6 for this month.
The 5, brought to you by Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. Fight through over 3 decades of CNC lore and unleash Kane's Wrath. In stores now on the PC and this summer on the Xbox 360.
Man, all of that CNC action has my blood boiling. I can't believe I'm going to be Kane's right-hand man.
You don't have what it takes. If we're gonna do this right, Raj, we need to set up some parameters. We can't be expected to throw down on a moment's notice. Oh no! This needs to be planned out to the T. After all, becoming Kane's right-hand man is going to be the greatest moment of my life!
Of your life? Oh, it's on. You want a formal challenge? Well, I'll deliver. Just you wait.
Well, our show may be ending here, but there's still a lot more exclusive content online at commandandconquer.com, including a spotlight on the nod units, upgrades, and powers in Kane's Wrath, and the exciting conclusion of Kane's challenge in the main event. Maybe Raj will even throw down the gauntlet. Remember, full episodes are available only online at commandandconquer.com and on iTunes. So if you crave more content, head on over to our official site. And if you'd like to comment on the show, drop us a line at bcpt@ea.com. And for Kane's sake, if you haven't picked up the expansion pack, what are you waiting for? Always remember to Battlecast your Kane's Wrath or Tiberium Wars match for a shot to be featured here on Battlecast Primetime. For Raj Newby, I'm David Silverman, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
We'll see you on the battlefield.
Bro.